one of the things that we talk about a lot in this sort of American marketplace, that has been created by the fact that we have a for-profit influence, for sure, within the American adoption industry, is the fact that we, in fact, adopt more than any other nation on earth, and we adopt differently than any other nation on earth. But one of the things that I do on page 329 is just to give you guys some statistics, and so I want to run through that because a lot of you maybe haven't heard that data since we have a lot of new folks here. So this is not a perfect analysis. The best way that I have found, which I do have to give a nod over there to Renee too, at Saving Our Sisters, is to compare live births to number of adoptions. Again, it's not a perfect statistic, but it's kind of the best we've got to work with, to compare. So, like here in the United States of America, when we're talking just private infant adoption, of which we know there's about 18,000 on average, give or take, right now every year, 19,000. We have, out of every 182 live births in a year, equaling one adoption. Okay? 182 live births to one adoption. If we added in foster care, it's 1 to 1, it's 1 out of 65 live births. Now, that is a way not accurate statistic because, of course, children are adopted from foster care at all ages, right? So that's not a super valid statistic, but I'll circle back to it in a minute. If you actually add in our step parents, it's 1 in 38. Okay, so we love adoption because adoption's awesome, right? That's America. By comparison, in the United Kingdom, all adoptions you cannot arrange for a private adoption in all of the United Kingdom. There is no such animal. So it's only administered by the state. In general, it's happening through foster care, or you do have the occasional relinquishment. The way that the UK system works is if a woman has signaled the idea that she does not think she wants to or is capable of raising her child, and you have the birth at the hospital, the child is fostered for 6 weeks while she works one-on-one then with a counselor to attempt to potentially change either her mind or her living situation. If at the end of that 6-week period that does not conclude, only then is an adoption arranged. Their rate to adoption to live birth is 1 in 200. If you go to Northern Ireland specifically, it's 1 in 500. If you go to Australia, where again, private adoption is illegal, it's 1 to 1,000. If you go to China, which we know just, over the last several years has just only begun to open up their own domestic adoption system, it's 1 in 861 live births to every adoption. And like in South Korea, it's 1 to 769. Closest is Germany, which is 1 in 193, which again is full foster care in combination with infant adoption. And so just to give you guys some of those ballparks, and again, like for example, Germany being the last one that I mentioned, you do have private adoption facilitating agencies that are licensed by the state, but there's no advertising. So, we are the only nation that created adoption.com, adoption.org, adopting.com, where you have hopeful, prospective adoptive parents paying to compete in an online marketplace in a pick-me, pick-us scenario, attempting to attract a birth mother. We're the only ones that have done that.
And very successfully.
Yes, and that's whether it's for-profit or non-profit. So anyway, that's just to give you guys some ballparks there, and I hope that was helpful.